Hey everybody. Just doing a live stream tonight, getting everybody who wants to come in and chat. Bonnie has lost her aunt tonight, and we all want to support her. She needs us, and yeah. So come on in if you want to come on the show. Let me know that you do and email address and stuff, and we'll get you on here too. I'm gonna let Bonnie talk for a few. Go ahead, Bonnie.
I just want to tell you guys I am so thankful to have you all right now. Um, this was kind of expected, but unexpected at the same time. We knew my aunt's cancer had came back. We just didn't know how drastically it came back until tonight. My cousin Daniel, her son, posted on Facebook they had sent her home from the hospital, that the cancer had basically taken over her whole body. And then 9 hours ago, he posted that she was slowly dying and that any of us that wanted to come see her needed to do it as soon as possible. And then about 7 minutes after that, he posted she was gone. So this is why when anybody has cancer or any other situation, you see me fight so hard and try to help as many people as I can, because I know how much this destroys people and how much it hurts families.
I don't think there's any one of us that hasn't been affected by or known somebody that's dealt with cancer and died from cancer, and some actually beat it. And, um, we got Stephanie on here too. Hey, Steph.
Hey. Hey, I'm here.
Thank you for calling.
So
I'll be here for a little bit.
yeah, we're just we got a couple of people on in here right now. So I sent a invite to James, but he with James, it's always an adventure. Because it's like 20 minutes later, he's like, I'm waiting for an invite. I sent you one, James. Let me go check. And then, like, your phone rings, and it's like, yeah, you're doing it wrong.
I always thought that was me. I always do that. It's him. I feel better now.
Well, I remember, heck, when I was first doing the live and on Craig's show, and then I was getting your phone calls like forever. Remember that?
Yeah, I remember that. Why am I calling you?
Yeah.
This is wrong.
Yeah.
God.
Yeah. The hard part now is that my older two children know that my aunt has gone, but my younger two and my brother does not know. And my mom has got to tell them because she won't let me do it.
James, I sent you another invite, and hey, Seb.
Hey.
Seb said that he's here for you, Bonnie. Sebby.
Yeah, I told him thanks. I seen that. The hard thing is that when my mom's biological parents passed away, I didn't get to know them. I was so little. And my aunt's parents basically adopted my mother so we could have a set of grandparents. And then her mom passed away from cancer. And then her father passed away from a broken heart a couple of years after that. Then my grandmother passed away from cancer on December 19th. And now she's gone. And our lives were just so, it's hard to believe she's gone.
It happened so quick. I know. My mom had lung cancer, but then she got past that, and then she ended up having stroke. She went in the hospital, and she got better, and they released her for some rehabilitation stuff. She was there 4 days, and she got worse. So I told them to send her back to the hospital, and find out she had a second stroke, and then the day after Mother's Day, she passed away. My
Yeah,
dad had a very rare type of cancer. He started out with thyroid cancer. Then later on, it went down into his lungs, and it wasn't a cancer that could be operated on. So um, he said the doctors told him that something else would probably kill him before the cancer did, and he ended up having the stroke, and then got back home, and about say within a month after he got back home, he passed away. So it's nasty, and it's hitting us all.
Yeah, my aunt had lung cancer. She was in remission and got it back, and they said that she could take chemo, that if she wanted to, she wasn't going to, but then she decided she'd do it. But then my cousin said that it had infected her entire body. It was too late. There was nothing that they could do.
Jesus.
Yeah. I wish you could have.
The hard part for me is it's not just my aunt. My cousin Russ has cancer in his shoulder. He had surgery to have it removed, and it's back. His sister Chrissy has cancer, and it's caused her not to be able to have children. So cancer is hitting my family like there's no tomorrow. It's hard. It's very hard. And like I told you, Ron, we just recently lost my husband's mother. So it's just like it seems like it's a never ending situation right now.
Yeah. And unfortunately, those that leave us, they're in a better place. They're not going through. They have no more pain. They're not suffering no more. They're with God. But we're here, torn to pieces because, of course, we love them and we miss them, and that's the bad part.
Yeah, it was really funny tonight. I was listening to the gospel, and it was, Jesus basically was his gospel according to Luke, and because we're now in Advent, so the calendar's now a new year, and in the church, and Jesus is basically talking about when the Son of Man appears and comes back again, second coming, and I'm listening to this going, everything is so finite, and we have to make everything count. And so many people believe that they're not immortal, that they're not, you know what I'm saying? And that's what I heard from this. And, it was, and then Father's, like he's a young guy. I mean, he's a brand new baby priest. I mean, he's, just got his ordination, but he's really good. He's really good, and it made me think that you got to make everything count. You really, really do, and that's what when the boss was talking about. He said, "You know what? Everything you do, everything you say, everything you make it count." And we're here talking about people that made it count, okay? And that's what I'm getting from this, is that your Aunt Bonnie made it count.
Yeah, she definitely did.
I mean, and that's the big thing. You make every moment count.
Yeah, she definitely did that. She lived her life like it was the last day she had to live.
And
she always did that.
That's the way you got to do it. And you got to do it. And remember that your soul belongs to him.
Yep.
And that's it. And I really wish someone had told me that when my father died, I knew by the time my mother died, and one of these days we're all going to hang out together, and
Oh
we're going
yeah.
to talk about that. And you'll probably want to get into a wagon, drive to my hometown, and beat the shit out of my sister Chris and her husband, because they could have fixed things that were wrong, and they
Yep.
didn't. And I had to come home and do the eulogy, you know? And that's not going to happen for you, Bonnie, you know, for your
Yeah.
aunt. All right. So I look at you and I think, you know what? She got you. She sent you on your way. She's part of your upbringing. And she did her thing, and she's with him now.
Yeah. That is
And
true.
and I don't know if I'm making a difference or not, but you know,
You are. Because the thing is, Steph, you're right. She lived her life like it each day was the last day she had on this planet, and she always showed love. She always showed forgiveness, and she always taught me that that was the right thing to do, no matter how hard it was, because you were never promised tomorrow.
no, yep, that's true. It's true, you know. And it's really funny is everything that I've been through in my life. It took me far longer than that, because you get through something like a certain thing, and you're like, I'm in defense. I'm in. I can't be stopped. No, no, you can be.
Yeah.
And it's one of those things where you got to admit it, and you have to say, hey, you know what? There's only so much I can do in this world for my, 70, 80 years here, 90 years. My mom, and dad. My dad was here for 71. Mom was here for 90. If I can get 80, I'll be happy. You know?
Yeah. Well, I think she knew it was coming, and that's why I kind of expected it to come, because when she talked to my mom, she was having trouble breathing and talking, and she gave my dad a final goodbye.
Oh,
So
God.
she knew that it was coming.
Well, God damn. Oh, God. I can't. I mean, jeez.
And she knew that I loved her because I told her that I loved her. I
And she
wanted to
knows it
do a
now.
video for her, but it was too late.
She knows.
She
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 does
didn't need the
know.
video. She knows.
She knows. She told my dad her final goodbye, and that day I sent her a message on Messenger, and I told her how much I loved her because I was crying and I did not want her to see me crying. But my mom told me that she knew. She knew how much she meant to me and how much I loved her.
And that's it, That's it.
But she also knew her time was short, that she didn't have much time left, and she wanted to say goodbye in her own way.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's it. That, you know what? Sometimes people have the choice and they can do what they want at the very end. That's what God gives them, and that's what she did. My dad didn't have that. He flopped over at a bowling alley
Yeah.
and just died. My mom, you don't want to hear that. That's the story for alcohol, and I'm pretty sure we'll start a posse charging at a place, because what happened to my mom, your aunt got a very dignified and beautiful and holy way to go. He is
Yeah.
waiting for her. He's there. She's there right now.
Yep.
You know, she's listening to us going, "What are you talking about?"
Yeah.
You know,
I can hear her doing that.
yeah, what are you talking about?
That's
You
the
know,
type of person she was.
yeah,
And she's the one who taught me to have a big heart and to try to help as many people as I could, no matter what the cost was to myself, because she said at the end of the day, you're not promised tomorrow, but if you help others, it makes you a better person.
yep. If you,
Hi,
you
Bonnie.
know,
Hey,
amen.
Jane.
Hey, James.
My thoughts and prayers go out to you. I'm thinking about you. I'm like almost in tears. So,
Yeah, and
but
I'm trying to fight them back.
just hang in there. We're all here for you.
Gotcha, Bonnie.
Thank you. And I know I can count on you guys.
Oh, we love you, Bonnie. We're
Yep,
all
And I love
family.
you guys too.
we're
I'm
your brothers and
here,
sisters.
just here with my dog. He's got me through a lot. My brother passed, so I was trying to tell you guys. They were calling me in to shovel snow at this property, and I was holding my brother's hand, and he had passed, and I told him to go pound salt.
No, yeah, that's what you do. That's
So
what
my
you
dog,
do.
my dog got me through it.
Yeah, dogs are dogs are God spelled backwards. You know, think about that. Dog, God spelled backwards.
Yep.
That's it.
You know, my guy looks at me sometimes like, "What in the f are you doing, woman?" You know, those big brown eyes, and he's not stupid.
I just
Last
say,
night, you know, that's the way they are. My horse is like that way too, but she's crazy.
I just say bacon, and he's happy. You know.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You should see the mare tonight. We were running back and forth along the fence, and all of a sudden she stopped and she reared up, and I'm like, "You get your ass down!" And she stopped. She stopped and she tossed her head and looked at me, and I'm like, "You are too big to be doing that." And then she tosses her head and trots away. It's like, you bitch. You know, it's they're, you know, horses are dogs, but they weigh about 1,200 pounds. They really are. She's smart. I could teach her how to fetch stuff, but I'd have to convince her why she should. So she's probably actually smarter than dogs. I mean, you know, it's just no. She was a riot today, and I mean nothing that I could like grab her and do stuff with her. So
Yeah, I
it,
worked in a horse stable for a couple weeks. That's a lot of work.
it is, and you can run into a few that are like mine that are, oh, can I be an asshole? Cool. And then they are, you know? I mean, she's, uh,
But I'm gonna buy some antlers from Walmart and put them on my dog and post it, and you're gonna laugh your ass off because he looks just like Rudolph.
he'll look at you like, he'll look at
You're
you
gonna
like,
have to dress up as the Grinch, James. That way,
yeah,
it remind me of it when he put the antlers on his dog.
No, Ron, I'm more like Bad Santa. I'll be I'll be stumbling up the damn escalator.
Oh, jeez.
I was just thinking about the Grinch's dog. What was his dog's name again?
I don't remember, but I do have to drive. So, guys, please don't hang up. I'll still be here, but I don't want the car to drown me out like it always does when I drive.
Just be
Okay.
careful.
All right. Bonnie, hey,
Invader, Mike, Let's Talk Star Wars. He did his EU show last night, and Craig was in there for a few minutes. Posted a couple times, but then he was gone again. So I'm guessing he's doing okay. He's probably tired and rehabilitating, and they say he gets his phone taken away from him a lot. So when we hear from him, and try not to overreact when we don't hear from them.
Yeah, I think that's right. Probably it's mostly because the nurses are like, no, no, you know. I'm sure that if he had the phone all the time, that he'd be there
Yeah.
with us more. So, you know, it's
We'll pick up Craig before we go over to Jeremy's house.
Jeremy has been paying more attention to us. EVS, by the way, has been hilarious now. Did you see the documentary he's doing?
No.
My, it's basically about the sex scandal going on at SJW Star Wars with Swank Morton, Motron, Brian Young, etc., etc. It's literally it's the best video he's done ever. He's got 2 more coming out. He's got everything, literally everything. Someone sent him every DM, everything. It's like, holy shit. So get ready. Basically, those people are going to get exposed. The fake feminist SJWs. And, and I pissed on Pablo Hidalgo tonight, so he's all mad at me.
I like the special effects you used at the beginning, like you were coming through as a holocron.
Well, you know what?
That was cool.
It's my iPhone. It came with this app called Clips, and I was going through it, and I was like, that looks like the Falcon. That looks like, holy shit. And it also comes with a not a Death Star, but a Star Destroyer hologram too. So when I feel like I'll go and do that too.
I wonder if it's the app that Toriel uses. She has some pretty cool videos.
Yeah. Yeah, it's this iPhone, it's pretty cool, and we got a really good deal on it, so that's why I have it. Trust me, if we didn't, I'd be on a dial-up. Hubby'd be like, "There's no way I'm buying that." And so yeah, it's we're lucky. I'm lucky on this, and it's pretty cool. I was basically doing videos of him on the hologram, and he's like, "That freaks me out." I don't like it. The dog's like going, "No, I don't want anything to do with this."
I've got this $30 phone, and if it breaks, I go get another $30 phone.
Well, yeah.
But then you get what you pay for, so.
Yeah, well, my thing is that I don't have a computer right now. I really don't. And we control the TV with this. I can do anything on this phone that I need to. I can turn on the alarms here and the cameras when we leave. Everything's on when I leave. I don't have to turn it on inside the house. We're kind of bound to this. And what's really weird is that we've got ways of not being like that if something bad happens. When everything goes out, there's no electricity, there's no this. We have a way to deal with that too. But right now, we're pretty solid. And the phones we've got control. And we can, everywhere we are, we have what we need. The only thing we don't have is we can't watch what happens. Actually, we can, but I don't want to go into that. But it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool unless,
If I could just get my dog to drive up to the store and get me some beer, that'd be cool.
Heck, if you could just get your dog to go to the fridge to get you a beer, it'd be cool.
Yeah.
Right. It's them 8 steps take me a while, let me tell you.
What kind of a dog is he?
He's part hound and part German Shepherd, but he's got like the floppy ears like a hound, but he's got the markings of a shepherd.
Well, he could learn that. He could learn that.
Yeah,
He's smart enough.
shit.
I,
Give me an oil change too while he's at it.
I don't think he could do that. Opposable thumbs. Can't do that.
Well,
Anybody that's joined the chat recently, we're in here because Bonnie lost her aunt, passed away just a little bit ago. We're here supporting her. She is here, but she is driving right now. She has to drive her husband to work, so we're on here supporting Bonnie, giving her support because she really needs it tonight with her aunt passing. Go ahead, guys. Sorry, I just wanted to put that out there.
It's all right. That's a good thing to do.
My heart goes out to her. I mean, we've all had losses, and it's not easy. My grandmother practically raised me and was always there for me when I lost her. That was tough. My brother, he's only a few years older than me. He was my only blood brother. I lost him, so it's not easy.
Yeah, it's
Not.
tough.
I think when my father died, it was after everything that had happened to me when I got sick. It was the worst thing ever that happened to me in my life. I mean, he was everything to me. And then my brother died in 2006 and I couldn't get back. And it was, again, I'm not going to go into that. There was never a memorial for my brother Bill. This is the guy that hung out with George Lucas. And I'm pretty sure that he was one of the people going, why aren't we doing a memorial for him? And my oldest sister, the asshole, was like, well, they're being mean. No, we weren't being mean. We were just trying to figure out what was going on. A long, convoluted story. Billy was one of the original hippies. He would be 75 this year. He was, God, the most interesting human being you'd ever want to talk to. I always thought when I was a real little kid he was a weirdo, but he wasn't. I mean, he was Bill. I mean, he was what he was. And the last time I saw him was at the Reagan Building in D.C. in 2001. It was George W.'s inaugural week. And I made him meet me there because I was being a pain in the ass. And you're going to meet me at the Reagan Building, you liberal, blah, blah, blah. And at the end of the conversation, I realized we were liberals on the same bent. We just had to figure out where we fit together. Do you know what I'm saying? It's really weird when you talk to people who actually believe in liberty and everything that seem like they're on the other side. And then you start talking to them, it's like, okay, how do we figure this out? Because we literally agree on this. And that was my brother Bill. And when I got married, I wanted him to walk me down the aisle because my father died in 93 and he couldn't because he was sick. And 2 years later, he passed away. And it ruined my it was the capstone on why my family no longer speaks or talks to each other anymore.
Sorry to hear that stuff.
Well, that's what happens when you get a big family and people see money and there's a lot of money involved. I'm sure they probably figured out how to get it. And we're just too FTS this. Fuck that shit. So.
Well, people see money and they're about subs, and we're not. We're not about that. We're just about family. So.
Yep, we're about that. We're about making things right. And it's really funny. Someone said, "Well, who are the true punk rockers?" I think it's probably us. You point at hypocrisy, you point at the wrong things, and you say basically, we're not going to do that shit anymore. We're not about that. We're not going to do that. And it's about upturning the apple cart.
Well, politics and shootings are the reason I don't watch TV anymore.
Oh, I don't.
I have no interest. I just do my artwork. Spend time with my kid, and I go on the shows with you guys.
Oh,
No,
I don't
no
watch
interest in
the
TV.
news. I don't watch the news anymore. I get my news from, what I see when I wake up in the morning. Hubby reads the Drudge Report, but even he says he's about self-aggrandizing and what gets him hits on the thing. And when you look at the news, you got to be discerning. If it doesn't seem right, wait, and it'll break in the opposite direction, and it usually does. So I worked in politics. I worked for a congressman. I mean, and even my old boss says, "You're right to have done what you've done." I left the party. I left all that shit. And I just, it's, I'm sick of people who lie. I think we all are.
Yeah, they all lie, though. I mean, all of them, for one extent or another. But, yeah, I don't watch too much news. I mean, I have somebody I watch on he's on YouTube, he's on Periscope. Uh, the Wayne Dupree Show. That's who I listen to. But other than that, you get snippets here and there. And if something piques my interest, I'll go and read an article or whatever. But I mean, even Fox News, I don't even, if you're conservative, people just automatically think that you're just like totally in love with Fox News. And no, I'm not totally in love with Fox anything. So.
Oh, I stopped watching them long ago.
Yeah. So.
I stopped watching them faithfully when Romney lost. I was like, that's it. You know what? Megyn Kelly's stalking back to ask what's going on with what they're doing. In the middle of the broadcast, I'm like, the next morning I woke up and I'm like, we were in Korea. And I'm like, I can't do, no, this is unprofessional. They were so unprofessional about what they did. And what's funny, Ron?
Yeah.
They all are. Every broadcast network, all of them are unprofessional. They don't know how to be. Just tell the story. Stop being an asshole. The viewer doesn't care what you think. Tell the story. They don't know how to be that way anymore.
No, because they gotta act like they're professional actors, and they're going for the screen awards or whatever you want to call them. They just can't tell. They got to make it dramatic. They got to inject their own opinions and everything. They just can't read news no more. There is hardly any hard news. People left. I remember growing up. You watched the news and that's what it was. It was the news, and it wasn't all this. People once in a while you got an opinion, this and that, or you knew where they stood. Either they were more to the left or the right.
David Brinkley?
But who?
David Brinkley.
Yeah, I remember him.
Yeah, he drove my dad crazy. He absolutely pissed my dad off. Blah, blah. You know, it was like, and I didn't like him anyway because I thought the guy was a pretentious asshole.
Yeah.
But you know what? There was no hate. There's no, he's blah, blah, blah. I didn't see my dad out there grinding an axe or loading a shotgun slug to go, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's what's going on right now. You know, that was, all right, David Brinkley's an asshole. We all know that. You know, we're taking his word with a grain of salt. And there we go with God. Mike Wallace, that's how he felt. I told Chris Wallace that. I said, your dad's Mike Wallace is cool. You're raised by him. You look like him, by the way. I'm watching you to make sure you're fair and balanced because he's at Fox. So I use that very well because if you aren't, I'm going to be very upset. And he's like, that's fine. I respect that. And I'm like, cool, awesome. We're on the same page. He's now not fair or balanced.
I hate him. I can't stand the guy.
Oh, he's a pretentious asshole.
He's right there along with Megan Kelly and the rest of those hosers.
Oh yeah, pretentious.
You know,
Pretentious.
If you look back, you know who probably one of the big people to blame in all this mess in society we have now? Jerry Springer.
Yeah.
Jerry freaking Springer.
Holy
He's
shit.
the one. I mean, he actually was in politics. Then he does this show where violence is okay and all that material is okay, and being disruptive and being totally not caring about anybody's feelings whatsoever. It was fine, and they broadcasted it across the TV, and that's when the culture started changing to being, kids, I don't got to listen to you. I don't got to do this. I don't got to do that. And you owe me this, and you owe me that, and blah 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 blah. And there you go, Jerry Springer.
It's called shock media. It's meant to shock people, like how
we all watched it. We probably all laughed at it, but if you think about it,
I don't. I honestly, I'm going to be brutally honest here. I don't think I watched a minute of Jerry Springer, but I knew who he was. I knew what he did. And to be honest, I wasn't interested because it was, to me, dirtbag, lowest common denominator bullshit. And, I was raised by pretty Midwestern, middle class people. But I can't imagine my parents wasting 3.5 seconds on that shit. I grew up with public television, Masterpiece Theaters. That's my mom, and my dad was like, yeah, I don't. No, you're not gonna. I mean, so you get pissed off if you heard a country song sung wrong.
Right.
I mean, God, put Elvira by the Oak Ridge Boys on, and my dad would have been like, turn that off. He could have a shotgun and blow the radio away. Oh, God. I remember going somewhere. I think we were going to school, and somehow the radio got flipped to a station he didn't listen to. It wasn't like the normal news. And Elvira, and he was like, Jesus Christ, what the fuck is that? And he's driving and trying to fumble around the radio. And I finally turned it off, and I'm like, Papa, is that better? He's like, yes, it is. He was horrified. What a terrible song.
Oh, back in the day, my mom would listen to albums. She'd listen to Sabbath, and then it would be Kenny Rogers.
Oh, God. You know what's funny? It's the first live concert I ever went to. You guys are going to laugh. It was Kenny Rogers. Seriously. I got dragged to it for my brother's birthday. and my parents were there. And my dad's going, "Why are we here? Are you kidding me?" This is a guy who revered Glenn Miller and Harry James and all that. And of course, we couldn't get that stuff where I grew up. So we got Kenny Rogers. And actually, at the end of it, Papa's going, "Not bad. He is pretty good." And my sister-in-law, who bought us all the tickets, is starting away going, "Yes, I did well." And I'm like, "Yeah, you did. Yeah, yeah." Because, if you get away from the BS, it's good music. But the Oak Ridge Boys, I mean,
You guys
no.
got to catch this. There's this Mac Sabbath, and it's Grimace and Ronald McDonald and the Hamburglar doing Black Sabbath tunes. Check that out on YouTube.
Oh, God. Oh, my God. I grew up on that. My brothers and sisters. You got to remember, I'm the youngest of 9
That's
kids.
hilarious.
I'm like the way youngest. So, all that stuff. When Leonard Skinner, their airplane crash happened, my sister Joan wandered around our hometown with her album sobbing. I'm like, really? She still talks about it like it's like the most nostalgic thing that ever happened. I'm like, really? Really? I mean, okay, well, I guess. I mean, and she was like, 16 years old, so that apparently was a bad thing, and it was. I mean, that was geez. But yeah, those are the people I grew up with. And everybody else who was truly weird was out of the door before I actually got to become of age. So, heavy metal and punk rock.
Okay, I'm seeing 2 Yodas here.
Yeah, you're seeing 2 Yodas. You're not drunk.
I am too. I know I'm not.
Okay, how many fingers am I holding up?
I see it. A gold, was it a gold Boba Fett?
That would probably be 1 finger, right?
Or it's Boba Fett?
That's
I see
me.
that. That's probably.
All right.
Ron?
Yeah, I'm here.
All right, okay, I see Yoda going, "You have got to be kidding me." And
I went mobile. That's why I went on my phone. So
all right, okay.
Can't read the chat.
So we're all just here hanging out. That's
Yeah.
all I can see. Anyway,
Yeah,
so
hopefully Bonnie's all right and she's gonna pull through this.
is she will?
Bonnie's tough.
She's a
I
tough
mean,
chick.
she's tough. She's got to go through her grieving process, just like we all do. We have different ways of dealing with it, but we just support her in any way we can.
Yep.
We've seen her kick ass on about just about everybody on YouTube.
Yep.
Yep.
That's true.
Yep. That's a fact, man.
God, I felt so bad because I made that joke at the most inopportune time. I mean, she just put that, and I just put it at the same time and went underneath hers, and then I read hers, and I'm like, oh, she was just telling everybody her aunt, about her aunt, and I'm like, I was talking about John, going to Bonnie's school of spelling because John was mistyping a couple words on this thing, and like, oh, that was terrible timing.
John had some pretty funny videos on there, though.
He makes me laugh. That guy, he comes to us all sweet and smooth, and then he's like this big friggin' nut.
Ron, just to let you know, that actually made me smile, and I needed that at that moment.
Good. That's good to know, Bonnie.
Yeah, it actually made me smile. which is something I needed at that moment. And that's before I found out she had passed. I mean, that little bit of time finding out how sick she was and seeing that comment from you, and then going back to leave a message for my cousin, and then it was just there that she was gone. I was like, what do you mean she's gone? You just said, you know, it was just that fast.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well, I felt bad because, I mean, it seemed, I mean, you know how things are when you're texting stuff,
Yeah,
and it
but
just seemed
that's
so insensitive, like a comment, like we did it about at the same time, and boom, it was like there, and I'm like, oh crap, I read that, and then that was
but
just,
but
I
the whole
felt
thing,
bad.
to be honest, that's what makes our family so special, because it's just like, you know, it's almost like you knew I needed to laugh at that moment. So your comment came at the right time because it actually made
Okay.
me smile. So
Well, that makes me feel better because I
yeah,
just hated to think that, I made you feel
no.
worse.
And actually, I was just letting my husband get out of the car when you guys were talking about how tough I was and stuff, and he just started laughing, and I started laughing. He goes, "They do know you pretty well."
yeah, we do.
Yeah, I was
We
just
do.
Very
talking
well.
about you chewing everybody's ass out on YouTube. So we
Yeah.
all know
Yeah.
how tough you are.
Yeah.
So
No.
yeah, I was just, we were all in that messaging thing, and I was just like, you know what, let me do a live stream, get everybody, wants to come on, and that'd be better
Yeah.
probably for you, better therapy.
Yeah, definitely is. And I'm keeping my promise to my mom at the same time, because she's like, do not drive home without talking to somebody. You do
Yeah,
not need to do that, because you are going to break
exactly,
down in silence.
Yeah,
exactly.
So,
it's true. You know,
We're
here's the deal,
always
Bonnie.
here for you, Bonnie.
When I, when my dad got, when what happened to my dad was they took him to the hospital and they weren't saying anything, so I just ran away. I just took off. I took off to the hospital. I ran away. I came back and I'm standing there watching. There was the Packers and or no, just Packers. It was the Giants. No, God damn it! It was the Bears and the Vikings playing. And when my dad passed away, before he said that, he's walking out the door to me. It's Monday night, by the way, so it's a Monday night football game. And he said, Who's playing football tonight?" And I was working on a paper for school, and I said, uh, "Bears and the Vikings." And he looked at me and he said, "Hope they both lose." So I said, uh, and then he said, we'll watch the end of the game tonight," because I was going to stay with them, uh, and then go back and go to my apartment. And uh, he said goodnight, and I said I'd be up and to wait, and everything happened, and I walked back to my family. They were in the waiting room. The doctor came out, and he basically said Papa passed away, and I lost my shit.
yeah,
I'd already run away once because I knew in my heart, I knew it, and then I ran away, and then
yeah.
I
That's
screamed at him.
That's like what happened to me. Me and my husband were sitting at McDonald's the other morning, because we had to do some shopping, and I was getting lightheaded, and I knew that something was wrong because I don't get lightheaded like that very often. And we were sitting there, and I said, Aunt Kay's not doing great. And he's like, well, how bad is it? I said, it's pretty bad because she gave my message to my dad. And he was like, how long do you think she has? I said, I'm praying it's a long time, but I don't know. So
Right.
she knew it was coming, and she was trying to warn us to be ready
Yeah,
for it
yeah,
in her own way.
yeah.
It, and like I told my mom, I thought I was ready because I knew it was coming, but as ready as you try to be, it still doesn't stop the pain when it happens.
It doesn't. It doesn't. I mean, here's and it doesn't matter if it's it really doesn't. When I look back at everything that I've people I've talked to that have gone through this before, they could drop dead from a heart attack like my dad did, and he really did. I mean, they got a heartbeat at the bowling alley because there was a love it, an emergency crew literally bowling in the next alley, so they were like right there, and they rushed him, LOL, back to the hospital without the lights on. So you know already that was bullshit.
Yeah.
I know it's bullshit. If the lights were on, they were fighting. He was fighting too, and they just know. I mean, my dad. When I look back at the few years, no, the year before, he was saying stuff. And then you're talking to the doctors, his doctors. You're looking at what you're allowed to see from the medical records because your asshole older brothers and sisters don't let you see it. And it's like, you guys aren't telling me everything, are you?
Yeah.
And that I want to be prepared. I want to be able to say goodbye, and then I want to mourn, and then you're not allowed to do any of that. And Bonnie, bless yourself because you're able to mourn, because a lot of us have not been.
Yeah.
All right. I've been mourning since 1993, and I've been mourning my mother since 2012. Because the way the people who think they're in control of the universe have behaved.
I'm lucky with my family because they don't keep secrets from each other, and no matter how painful it is, they will tell you. No matter how they have to tell you. I mean, I found out on Facebook because I don't know how to reach Daniel, and he wanted me to know, so he posted it on Facebook so that it would reach the entire family. But at the same time, even finding it there was hard, but the fact that he didn't keep it a secret, he told us.
Yeah.
Well,
I was lucky.
You got to give yourself time to grieve. At first, it doesn't always hit you at first, and then it's like bam, and hits you.
It hit me. I was crying while I was texting you guys, and when I had to call my mom to tell my mom because she hadn't been on Facebook, I couldn't get the words out. I just started crying, and she said, "It's Aunt Kay, isn't it?" And I was like, "Yes." And I was like, "You have to go read it. I can't tell you." And she went and read it, and she said, "I will call you back after I read it."
Yeah, we're not going anywhere. We're here for you.
So yeah, I couldn't even bring the words out of my mouth to tell my mom. And I was like, I've got to tell the kids. And she's like, "You let me handle that." Richard's staying with Alyssa's boyfriend and his brothers tonight, so she's calling their mom to let her know. And my mom was going down there, and they were going to sit him down and tell him because he's with friends, so it'll be better for him to hear it around people that can be there for him. And then they're going to tell Alyssa in the morning because she's going to be with them in the morning. So she won't be alone. But my brother, it's going to be the hardest with him because, like I said, her life was entwined with ours so much. It was almost like she was our big sister rather than our aunt.
Yeah.
And he's had a bad day all day today, my mom said. And, he's got a lot of mental issues because he's borderline mentally retarded, but he is very sensitive to things when they're going wrong. So she said all day today he's had a bad day, and he's told her something bad is going to happen today. I know it is. And then we find this out. So it's like he kind of knew all day that it was coming. He could tell. It's just like when my aunt went into my aunt Wilma went into the hospital. They put her in a coma, and then they were having trouble getting her out of it. He had a bad day that day, and he said something's not right. And sure enough, they said they couldn't bring her out of the coma, but then she came out 2 days later. So he knows these things, and he even told me something bad's going to happen today, sis. I can feel it. And I have learned to listen to him when he says things like that.
Well, people who seem simple are closer to the real reality than we are.
Yep.
We get too clouded with bullshit.
Yep.
And it pays to listen.
Oh yeah, and he's very smart and very attuned to things. He can even tell when something's not right with me. If I tell him everything's fine and it's really not, and everybody else believes it, he doesn't. He's like, "You're full of it. Why are you lying to me? Something's wrong. Tell me what is going on."
Yeah, because this is reality.
Yeah, he does, and he tells me, you live in reality, but a part of you lives in fantasy to escape the reality because you don't like what you see.
Yep.
He said, but
And that's it.
I don't. I live in it 24/7 because it's what it is.
Yep. And
So
yeah, and that's it pays to listen. I mean,
yeah.
think about this. Back in the day, they were the people that were probably the priests and the you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The seers and stuff. Yeah, we see this. I see what you're going through, really. It's just anyway. Bonnie, I gotta go
Okay.
because I'm
Thank
tired.
you.
You're
Thank you for
welcome.
calling and stuff. It really did help.
Oh, you're welcome. And I'm here to send me a DM or whatever. You got my email, whatever.
I
I'm
got
here.
your number. I'll call you.
Okay, all right, because
I
I'll
love
be here.
you.
I love you too. And you guys, both boys, take care, Bonnie. Take care of yourselves. Brothers. I'm here, and but I need some sleep. I gotta turn off these lights. There are a lot of
Okay.
lights on right now.
Good night,
So,
Steph.
all right. Good night. I love you guys.
Love you.
Love you too. All right. Good night.
Are you still here, Ron and James?
Oh, jeez.
Oh yeah, I'm here.
James, you still here?
I'm here, Bonnie.
Okay.
I got my daughter over, so I might have to mute once in a while.
No, you don't. She's a part of this family too. You don't have to mute anything.
Okay. Well, I might have to take my dog out. He's been waiting patiently. But I'm here for you,
I know.
So, and then my girlfriend and I are gonna come down there probably in the spring or summertime. I'll hang out or something.
Yeah, I would like that.
Yeah, my wife came out to talk to me. That's why I muted.
Oh,
She's
okay.
not feeling well either. So
Well, tell her to get better, please.
I will.
Yep.
And tell your sister to get better too.
Yeah, well, she's back home now, thank God. But
oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Oh, it's one big happy family, man.
Yep. And I know that I drive everybody crazy when I call you guys when you're sick, and I'm worried about you guys, but this is why. Because you never know when it's going to be the last chance you get to let somebody know that you love them. So I always try to.
Yeah, I hear you. And she called me this morning, and I was just because she had that idea and stuff. She was running past everybody.
And actually,
just getting ready to sit down to eat breakfast.
I have bad timing. But I did talk to John about it, and we had a revised idea. It's the same theory, but a better way of going about it.
Oh, cool.
So I think we're going to take his way of going about it because, like he said, I don't want anybody to be threatened or chased around by these stupid SJWs for our opinions and our thoughts. So we think this might be a better way of tackling it, but getting the point across at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to get together and talk to everybody about it and then figure out from there where to go. So everybody's safe and protected, because I don't want to put anybody in danger.
Right.
And I hate not having freaking internet, because I can't call anybody on Hangouts and put them all on a show together, which I would love to do.
Well,
So once my internet gets up, y'all be ready for that, because it will be coming. But yeah, and I know it drives Craig crazy, because I will blow up his phone in text messages and phone calls. But like I said, it scared the crap out of me with Craig. I mean, this situation with my aunt brought things closer to home than ever before. I mean, my cousins, yeah, they went through it, but they're both okay now. I mean, one can't have kids because of cancer of the uterus. She had to have a hysterectomy. The other one, her brother, he had his shoulder, basically the whole top part of his shoulder was removed and redone with skin graft. And the cancer came back again, but they got it before it got too bad. But then now this with my aunt, it's just like, I don't know. It's too close to home for me with too many people I care about.
well, it just goes to show, life's precious, so we gotta appreciate what we got. And
Yeah.
I'm sorry for your loss, dear.
Yeah, you're right there.
And I mean, I know she was ready to go because she was tired of fighting it, because she even said when they told her she got it back, she did not want to do chemo. She did not want to do any of that, because she knew that it wasn't going to do her any good. I think she knew how bad it was before the doctors had figured it out. She said she was just tired. She was tired of fighting it. She just wanted to let go. But Daniel's daughter, her granddaughter, begged her to take the chemo. And then they found out before they started the chemo that the cancer had spread through her entire body. So chemo wasn't going to do any good. They basically said she had two choices. She could stay in the hospital and they'd make her as comfortable as possible, or she could go home and they'd do the same thing. And she chose to go home, like my grandmother did. She said, if I'm going to die, I'm going to die around people that love me and that I love. And her and my grandmother did the same thing. They died at home where they wanted to.
Yep.
As hard as it is to accept the fact that they're gone, at least we know they're not suffering and not in all that pain anymore.
Yep. Well, you're still driving, so be careful.
I just pulled in the driveway at home, so.
Good.
You're home safe.
Yes, I am. And Stig, thank you. Those are so funny.
Damn Swede.
He's sending me funny pictures to make me laugh.
Okay, now we're down to one Yoda.
What happened to that? Huh? What?
One Yoda.
Now we're down
one Yoda.
to we had two.
What happened to the other Yoda?
Oh, I came back inside.
Oh.
He was feeding the Hondurans and DJ.
Oh, D. Pensick. We just came on to support Bonnie. Her aunt passed away just a little bit ago. And in the live stream, she had to drive her husband to work and stuff. So we wanted to keep her company while she was driving. And just show our support for her. And that's why we did it up. We started up just the live stream.
It's like my mom and I got into an argument over the phone. Well, not really an argument, more of a disagreement, because she was like, I hate December, because my grandmother passed away December 19th, 3 years ago. Well, no, it's been 5 years now, 5 years ago. And then my aunt just passed away tonight. And I was like, Mom, no, you can't hate December. That was their favorite month. That's not what they want. They don't want you to hate it. So I was like, you can't hate it.
Yeah, I lost my nephew. He was only 25 when he passed, and my brother, he just turned 50, and he passed 2 years ago. So I understand.
Yep.
Yeah, all he
It's
ever
tough.
drank was Pepsi. He drank Pepsi all the time, and then the infection got to his heart from his teeth, and then when he was in his coffin, they put a 2-liter bottle of Pepsi in there with him.
Oh, wow. Sebastian said, I know what would cheer Bonnie up. Make a video of you burning that singing Santa, Ron. And
No.
then Hound said, I would rather spank Ron than doing that, Sebastian.
Yeah, I like the singing Santa. He makes me smile.
I'm starting to see the resemblance, Ron.
Yeah.
But we have a very good family, and we always support each other and take care of each other. And I'm just glad that I have you all right now. It's like I told my husband, if I didn't have him, I would be completely lost. Having you guys would be hard too, because y'all support each other, and we all support each other and take care of each other. So it makes things so much easier.
Well, we're here for you.
Yeah, we are.
He's a sneezy
And I am very thankful for that.
My dog just let out a big sneeze, and it's like everybody's gotta get out of the way when he sneezes.
Yeah, that sounds about what you should do. My
Yeah.
cat's the same way. When she sneezes, I run.
But there's these big ass raccoons by the dumpster that are bigger than him, and he's like 70 pounds. He's, medium sized, and it's like I won't take him over there because he'll be getting in a scrap.
Yeah. Because, like I was telling Stephanie, it seems like cancer is the thing that kills my family off for some reason. I mean, there's tons of diabetes and everything else running through my family, but it always seems to be cancer that takes them.
Yeah. It's sad, and then like with me, I get anxieties over that stuff too.
Yeah,
Just
I got
thinking about it too much.
cancer and heart trouble in my family. My grandfather was my grandmother and grandfather owned a printing shop with these old crank style presses, and they'd give me pads and pads of paper, and that's where I started doing cartoons and things like that. And yeah, he had a heart attack and crashed in front of the shop when he passed. That was a shame.
Mm.
But you just it's what makes you stronger. You just keep on trucking, and life goes on, and you got people around you that care, and that's what's important.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's going to be a long, tough night. I do know that.
Well, if you're gonna be here a while, I gotta take my dog out and run to the corner, and I'll be back if you're still here.
Well, I gotta go take care of my wife too. She's not looking too happy right now. I think you know how it is when somebody wants to talk but you're busy and they're kind of like, I'm doing a live stream right now.
Yeah.
But
You go take care of her because she needs you right now.
yeah. So
James, I'll be up for a while, so if any of you want to talk to me, you can hit me up on Hangouts, Twitter, Facebook, whatever. I'll
we'll
answer
be in
you.
Hangouts.
Yeah, I'll be right back, Bonnie.
Okay.
We'll all be in Hangouts and stuff, so that would be cool.
Yeah.
I just wanted to make sure that we got this and you're driving, we got you there and back safe.
Yeah. Thank you for that, Ron.
So,
But I gotta go, so just take care of yourself, and I'll be back in a little bit.
I will, I promise.
all right.
Bye.
All right, everybody. Hey, thanks for coming, everybody. Show support for Bonnie and send her prayers and love to her family. And we're here for you, Bonnie.
I
Yep.
know. Love you all. Thank you all so much.
Same here.
All right. Good night, everybody.
Good
Night.
night.